Hi, I'm Greg Denning. Recently we rented this cabin up in the mountains, and we got to the place. It looks beautiful. His pictures were awesome. And we get there, and we notice we walk in the house, and you felt like you're slanting down. You're walking down to the corner of this house, and what had happened, the house had settled in one corner a lot. Like you felt it. You felt like you're walking down to the bedroom and back up to the kitchen. And with that in mind, and recently reading the parable out of the scriptures that Jesus taught about the wise man who built his house on the rock and the foolish man who built his house on the sand, I've had in my mind this question of, is your life built on a solid foundation? And are you building your future life? Because what we're living now, we've built in the past, and what we're going to live in the future, we're building now. And are we building our lives on solid principles? As I travel around the world and I watch world events and I'm interacting with people and doing coaching and mentoring, I'm seeing all these trends that are really dangerous and they seem very sandy. And I want you to consider that and just kind of look at your own life and look where you're heading and what you're looking at and say, is my life built on a solid principle and on solid truth and habits? Or are there some sandy things? What are some of those sandy things? They often have a nice facade, right? They have a mask, and we got to be able to see past that. But some of the sandy things that you see are trends, things that just kind of come and go, and people kind of jump on the bandwagon. You're like, yeah, you get this kind of this mob mentality. Let's do this, but it's not really based on true principles or true ideas. Even with fashion of getting caught up in the social conditioning, or what I like to call the peacock pageantry, going around competing and comparing always, with the latest trends and ideas, or the idea even of bread and circuses that I love to mention all the time. This idea that as long as we have food and entertainment, then we're good. That's a sandy foundation. It's not based on true principles of work and integrity. There's sandy business ideas. Several years ago, I got sucked into one, and they're out there. There's a lot of them. They're trying to sell you something or convince you that it's easy money, or even this the weight loss with no work. I mean, there's these ideas. And what about your relationships? Are they built on a sandy foundation? So I want you to look at your life, every aspect, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, socially. Look at all those things. Is your life built on rock solid truth and principles that when the storms come in life, and they will, when the challenges, the trials, the obstacles come along, that you stand? Because you've always made the right choices. People are getting into these habits and decisions and ideologies that are flimsy and weak. And when life comes along and they get shaken, they're going to fall, and great shall be the fall thereof. And it's a tragedy. You've seen it. You've seen marriages and families fall apart. You've seen lives fall apart. I have too. And you see that they were built on a sandy foundation. And so here's my challenge for you and for me. Let's study the lives of great men and women, both in the past and in the present, who have built their lives on rock solid truth and principles and practices of integrity, of honesty, of fidelity, of purity and refinement, of goodness. These solid success principles that are eternal, really, that outlast time, right? These great truths that if we embrace and take into our own lives and make them ours, and we build our lives on these things, then it's solid. That's the kind of person you want to become, right? And who you're becoming. I know you're doing that. So I just want to encourage you, and I'll do the same always. Always evaluate what we're doing, what we're thinking. Look past the facade and the mask and say, where is this trend going? Like massive societal trends or little social trends? ideas that are being spread in social media or in the politics, and say, is that really good for the nation, for the community, for my family, for my life? And make sure you build your life and your family's life on a rock solid foundation. Now, just as a side note, my leadership series that I teach on worldschoolacademy.com and on gregdenning.com is all about this. It's about personal leadership, how to lead our own lives, right, on these solid principles and truths and ideas and practices and habits, and philosophies, right, the right life philosophy. And then moving into social leadership, where we then try to lead out and help others lead their lives and build their lives on rock solid foundations. So check those out. As always, reach upward.